We can carry the team today, right, Mal?
Guys, I can show
Yeah.
up.
No, I don't want you to have to.
I'm gonna pull my weight. It's literally just my throat is a little bit hurting a lot.
Why do you think?
I don't know. Maybe it's stress or it's just I'm getting sick. We'll see. We'll see. But I did, we were just telling Mal that McKenna and I went to a cycle class today. And I think that the cycle class, just like high intensity working out, is so not what my body has done for months and months and months. So doing that and then also having to walk our booties up the 45-degree incline back to our house, I was dripping sweat from my face. I was having a horrible time.
That was the hardest walk I've ever done, and I walked across a country.
Yeah. McKenna's walked across the whole world, and that was the hardest walk of our lives.
Yeah.
How far is it to the gym?
It's like a 25-minute walk.
Yeah,
That's significant.
it is. And it's so hilly.
Yeah. The way there is fine because you just go downhill, but then the way back, you have to go uphill. And after like a hard workout, your muscles are like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So, wait,
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
in addition to the hard workout, McKenna and I went into the steam room afterwards because there's a fancy steam room in there, and we really miss our steam room from our old gym. This baby gets going. Like,
I was like, is the fire alarm going to go off?
I honestly, I had to get up and leave, and I was cussing because I was like, oh my God, McKenna, holy shit, like just whatever. And then I look back when I'm leaving, and there's this poor other person that walked in and heard my dramatics, but we didn't hear them walk in at all.
Well, you
Wait.
couldn't even see them walk in. That's how steamy it was.
Yeah.
Wait, there was a baby?
What? No, just a normal person. Sorry, just an adult person in the steam room.
Okay. And so they did not have a child with them.
No, children aren't allowed in steam rooms. It's bad for their hormonal development.
Wait, but truly,
Okay.
where did you get baby?
Guys,
Babies are just in the air, I guess.
we're having a moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just like a lot. And you never know in those moments when you're like, is this normal? Do I need to report this because this is a little bit too much? Or is this just the settings and how people like it at fancy gyms?
They like their skin to burn off.
Yeah.
You were in a steam room or a sauna?
Steam room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Something to think about for sure.
Something to marinate in. Yeah.
Absolutely think about that for a while.
Yeah.
All that to say, it just really contributed to me having a hard time today walking home.
Mm-hmm. Although I do think that a steam room will be beneficial for your sore throat.
Yeah, hopefully.
What if you took a bath tonight?
It sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's so good for you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I support that.
We'll see. All right, how is everyone doing? Mallory, you go first. I just feel like you're fading down, so I want to hit you first. You know what I'm?
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what I'm
like,
saying? Yeah.
how am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing?
How am I doing?
Well, Ryan left on Monday for Philadelphia for a work thing.
Ew.
So it's just my
To
son.
what part? Just to Ryan leaving Mal.
Yeah.
How dare he?
That
I
is so
know.
horrible.
I know. So I'm just here with my son. We're just the best buds. I let him for the first night since we got him sleep on the bed. And honestly, he did great, but I was just stressed all night about it. So I'm going to put him in the crate because honestly, I felt like I kept waking up and making sure he was okay, and he was obviously fine, but I feel like if I put him in the crate, I don't have to think about that. I also left him home for the longest I've ever left him yesterday night. And when I got home, he had like piled everything in our whole apartment on the couch. Like he had 4 pairs of shoes. He had his harness. He had his other collar. He had both of his leashes, and they were
Oh
all
my
like
God.
beavered on top of him when he came back.
It's like, what if that's like his way of like showing you what he would pack on a trip? He's like,
Yeah.
we're ready to go. I've got my leashes, my shoes.
Yeah. I think it was maybe more of a coping mechanism because it was all things that smelled like him or us, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's that on that. Ryan gets back on Thursday, so I have another 2 nights by myself, which I think whenever, the person you live with goes away, you remember how much you need them and how codependent you are on their existence. And so,
I
yeah,
don't actually know what it's like to be codependent on anybody.
no. No.
Never heard of her.
No, could not be more codependent. Talking about me, I mean,
No, I'm talking about us too.
I know. Yeah, this weekend I went to Chapel Hill to see Jean Marie, which was really fun.
Jean
Marie.
Yeah, and then I did have a bit of an existential crisis yesterday. This all started because there was a house in Ventura that a family-ish friend's mom just died, and they're putting the house on the market, and it is a bit of a dilapidated house, but it's cheaper than any of the other houses like it in Ventura because it would need some support. And so my mom was sort of asking if we wanted to consider buying it back, like slash having my parents buy it and us, supporting that or using it as a loan. And I feel like it triggered the big one for me.
Yeah.
Because
That's a huge trigger.
Ryan is all in on moving to Ventura. Like, could not be more excited or sure that he wants to move to Ventura. And to him, it doesn't have the hometown thing. It's like, it's an exciting, new, fun place to live. And for me, I think there is part of me that feels like I would, like, I don't like to say like I'd be letting myself down because there's nothing wrong with living in Ventura, but it's almost, I can't get past the fact that like, that's not what high school Mallory set out to do, and it's almost this like prestige success thing in my head where I'm like, moving back there is, I'm going to be washed up, or I'm going to turn 30 and move to Ventura, and all of a sudden I'm going to be 60 and my life's going to be over,
Oh, boy, that is the big one.
But I will say, like, I think it did give me a bit of a realization. I was talking to my therapist about this, and we were kind of doing some parts work, and we were talking about one part, which I think is really that like high school Mallory that had like such ambitious, strong goals for myself, and how I'm having a really hard time, like feeling like I wouldn't be letting her down if I moved home. And, like that's one part. And then the other part is the part of me that like so deeply desires like adventure and being a contrarian and not doing what everyone thinks you want to do or you should do. And it made me realize that I've lived such a structured / like quote unquote perfect life, like went to college, got my master's, got a full-time job. Like I've just done everything right, quote, right? And I want to make a fucking decision. I want to do something reckless and irrational. And not in my best interest. And I'm just like, because I had this realization that Ryan got his fuck it moment. He quit his finance job and went to grad school. My mom got her fuck it moment. She quit Patagonia and moved to Asia for 3 months. Like, my dad had like 6 fuck it moments. Like, you guys both got fuck it moments. And Meredith got a fuck it moment. I'm just like, I need to have one. And so, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, whenever McKenna sends me the cabins, there is a genuinely large part of me that is like, I think that the best thing for me is to buy this cabin. And I'm not even joking. Like, I genuinely am like, I think my life would be wonderful if I bought that cabin in Washington and I moved there with Ryan and Fitz. That sounds great. And I need to make a decision like that is not another perfect decision. Okay, that was a lot.
Juicy. That is
juicy.
juicy. And that's a lot to unpack. And I have to say, when you texted that, I was so upset that my day was jam-packed because that is my fucking shit. Anytime someone's like, I'm having an existential crisis, I'm here, present.
Yeah.
Because normally it's me doing that and I like to be on the other end of it. And
well, that's also why I texted you guys, because I've been trying to be more mindful of how vulnerable and open you all are with me in your day-to-day life. And I don't always feel like I do that back as often. And so I've been trying to, like, I don't know, be better about making sure I'm sharing my day-to-day life stressors with you guys too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's the most important or most interesting thing in my life is learning about, like, what are my friends thinking and what are they worried about? But also, I think it's kind of a byproduct of, like, it is often like from this side of the couch that we are the ones that are like, we have no idea what's happening. We have no idea what we're doing in our lives. We have no idea what jobs we want, whatever. Whereas, Mal, you have had a bit more of like a structured step here, next path, step here, next
So
path, step
safe.
here. It's not, I mean, I wouldn't call it safe. I would just call it like you just
safe.
you feel like you have it more figured out maybe than us.
No, and-
which is fake, because we all, it's a fucking fallacy to think that any of us have anything figured out.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that is interesting for you to share your opinion with us, because there's so many times, for better or worse, that I am like, I just wish that I had Mallory's safety and like steps, and she just knew what she wanted, and it just like fell into place in the most magical way. And I don't know. I mean, I told you this a little while ago, and it didn't necessarily exactly have to do with this scenario, but I made a comment about another part of your life that I thought was going to change pretty drastically in the next 2 years. And I think that this is part of it, of you just like getting to your point in your own individual life where you're ready to make a switcheroo happen. I really, not to bring it call back to last episode when I was talking about Sadie's podcast episodes, but truly I finished listening to 2 of them, and listening to her talk about her story through people like making fun of her, telling her she's horrible, telling her she's doing bad things. Like, we view other people's success as like they checked the boxes and they got what they wanted, and they just did this for a long enough time to become successful. And it's like, no, like that's not, no one's path was just like plug and go. And if it was, then like they are, I think, having moments that they're reevaluating at some point in their life.
Yeah.
But it's all like that whole timeline is so unique to who you are as a person and when that comes in, and there's no early or right or late timing with it.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good, Mal. I'm really excited about this moment, actually. And I don't want that to be insensitive because it's hard, but I'm like, hee Mallory's ready. Like, it just feels like a new layer of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was talking to Laura about this yesterday, that I think another layer of it too is just the other part of me being so attuned to like wanting to spend more time with my family and
Mhm.
knowing that Ventura is the best way to do that. Like, my dad turns 80 in February, and I would love to like maximize the amount of time that I spend with my parents. And there are so many like good reasons to move to Ventura. Like it has amazing food and coffee shops, and my stepsisters are close by, and there's great hiking trails, and there's the ocean, and there's like there are so many positives and good things. And this is not to say like I need to or I don't need to do this, but I think the idea of moving to Ventura feels so final. Like I would just move there and never leave. And that doesn't feel good either. But then I think I am putting pressure on myself to be like, but is that an irresponsible decision given what you know about your parents and their age?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. I talked to my dad about it yesterday because I told Ryan all of this, and Ryan's like, well, why don't you just ask Ed what he thinks? And so I asked him, and he was, as I expected, he's doesn't want me to make my life's decisions based off of that. And he said something that I hadn't really thought about. And he was like, I knew what I was doing when I had you at my age. At that age, like I knew it. And I knew that it would also mean that I wasn't going to get the same like time with you and your kids that I would if I was younger. And I think I'd always just like put a lot of blame and pressure on myself that like I wasn't going to have that time. And then it was like this light bulb of like, oh, it's no one's fault. Like that's how it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny the idea of Ryan being like, well, we'll just call Ed. Because it's like, he's not even really part of the conversation, even. Like the conversation is you within your brain being like, time is the most valuable thing. Do I want to commit to more time, or do I want to commit to like a fun adventure and like maybe an illogical decision? So yeah, but that is, I don't know. It's no one's fault. It's not, you didn't decide when you were going to be born, and your parents didn't decide when, well, I mean, they did.
Yeah, they actually could not have decided more. It could not have been more of a decision, actually.
Yeah.
I think though, like you and I have kind of parallel situations right now. It's not the exact same, but there are similar themes to how I've been navigating California and how you, I think about California and moving. And I could not have been more closed-minded about moving to California. It was last on my list. It was the last thing I would choose. It was the last thing I would do. And I'm very grateful that I'm here right now. So I think that there's so much to unpack with that, because it's like, do I trust myself to make this decision? Step one. And step two, do I trust myself to pivot if this decision is the wrong decision?
Mm-hmm.
And similar to what my therapist said that I shared last week of like, you don't have to make all your money in the next 5 years. Like you don't have to choose your forever home in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And similar to me, Mal, you have already built the backbone and the strength of what it feels like to leave a hometown. And that's hard enough in itself to move across the country from a hometown. And so that's already in your toolkit, right? Like you can always rely that you have that strength and that's never going to go away. And so I just think that we put so much pressure on ourselves. Not that it isn't a big decision, because it is, but like life like that, like decisions like that aren't permanent for better or worse. And all we can do is like make the next best decision and trust ourselves enough that we will make the whatever decision comes next.
Yeah. I feel like I always get weirdly stuck as well, and like forget that like buying a house doesn't mean that you live there until you die.
Mhm.
Like houses are bought and sold every single second of every day. Like
Mhm.
that doesn't have to be, I understand how it feels like moving to the hometown part of it does feel more, permanent, but it doesn't have to be at all.
Mhm. And I think it's important that you're having those conversations with the people who you are kind of putting that internal pressure on to maintain those relationships in a way that feels good. Does that make sense? Like you pulling Ed into that conversation, I think is important because now you have all of the information. And I think there are people in my life that I haven't been brave enough to pull into that conversation yet. And I'm still making decisions or thinking about making decisions based on what I think I should do versus what that person would actually want for me.
Yeah. Kind of saying like X is so important to me that I am thinking about altering my life.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
get that on your clock, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are big things. And I have full faith in you that you will navigate it to the best of your ability. And I hope you have full faith in us that we will support you to the best of our ability.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fully. Yeah. My brain honestly kind of feels fried about it. Like I feels like I can't really have any other new thoughts, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry that that really fired me up.
No. I appreciate that in your perspective. Oh my God. Ryan has called me like 6 times.
Oh my God, is he okay?
Oh yeah. No, he's fine. He keeps sending me the little like dog memes of like, where are you? You know? Anyway.
Well, take a moment, check in with him if you need to.
Yeah, check in with your partner.
He keeps, oh, yep, there's another hello cry face.
Ryan's such a cutie.
Yeah, I really like him a lot.
Yeah.
My only other like slight update is my newsletter for tomorrow, which will be last week, is about how I had the stomach flu last week and how less about how I had the stomach flu and more about how like it reminded me how like neurotic I am about rest and how I felt so much guilt. And I like convinced myself that my boss thought I was lying about being sick. And like I was literally spiraling, imagining like my boss and my coworker like thinking about how I had let them down because I took a sick day.
Because you took your second sick day in your
And
whole
the
life.
irony is I didn't even take a sick day. Like I just asked to work from home instead of go in. And I had the
my
fucking
God.
stomach flu.
Wow.
And it honestly, like, I was so embarrassed that whole day because I was like, who the fuck gets the stomach flu? And then just all day, like, gaslights themselves into convincing themselves they're not sick and that everyone doesn't think they're sick. You know, it was like, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, my brain, it's really all over the place.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bella was just visiting, and McKenna and Bella were bullying me for being the most neurotype. Or
I don't think
neurotypical.
you're neurotypical.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No one is, but I was getting bullied.
I've met some people who are neurotypical.
But even then, I'm like, yeah.
What does that mean?
Less of what you were just describing.
Cool. So someone not on 100 milligrams of Zoloft?
Yeah, someone who's like, I'm sick. That's the reality.
It's like those people that are like, sometimes when I think, or sometimes I can just like not think thoughts and just be in like blank space in my brain. You know?
Yep.
Okay.
So not for us OCD girlies.
No.
All right, Mal, are you all wrapped up?
Yeah, I also just realized this is going to come out the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
This is gonna come out on a little girlie's birthday.
No. Yeah?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the Wednesday? I thought it was on the Tuesday.
On Wednesday.
Should we sing happy
Oh, it
birthday
is the
to
Wednesday.
Laura?
No, I literally have in my calendar send Laura her present and card today.
Aww.
It was at 5 p.m. I didn't do it, so I'll do it after this.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, let's sing it.
No.
Okay, well, everyone say happy birthday, Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura.
And maybe if you're listening on day of or even after, you could like follow Laura's tattoo Instagram as a present.
OMG, that would be the best present in the world.
Yeah. And then maybe if you're wanting like, next level gift giving, you could
Tier 2.
Tier 2, you could maybe send like a nice message to Laura about like, I don't know, something you appreciate about her, and then words of affirmation. And then tier 3 would be booking a tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, tier 3 has to be getting her art on you.
Yeah.
Multiple pieces,
Yeah.
preferably.
Mhm.
Guys, I need to today I was like same kind of shame thing of like being sick and needing to rest. I had such high expectations for my day in terms of like drawing tattoos and like making flash pieces for a release. And I got very little of that done because I was just like kind of on my ass after our cycle class. And it was hard for my brain to not be like, wow, Laura, you unemployed piece of shh. Which is horrible to say to yourself.
Are you going to, because you made a lot of flash before, are you going to keep those or do all new?
All new. I'm pretty sick of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do new ones. Maybe a few of them will survive from the last drop, but
Because weren't there a few that no one got?
yeah, there were a few bigger pieces that no one got. Lots of people got pretty small little trinkets. So I think I want to design more of those. But it's hard because like when I think about the art that I want to draw, it's like larger pieces of like scenes and, people. But I think that for now, the most approachable thing to tattoo on people are like little
Trinkets.
trinket charms.
Little gadgets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jean Marie and I went to this adorable art shop in Carborough, and the whole time we were just like, this would be Laura's dream shop. Like it was incredible, and I feel like you would sleep and live in there if you lived in Carborough.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
No, we already talked about the art fair that we went to in SF, but like that just needs to be my whole life. Like I need to live and breathe by the creatives of this world. And it has, I don't know, it's been interesting being in the place that we are in the city because it's much more polished than I think like a lot of those creative people would normally hang out in like a different part of SF. This feels very like, mommy fancy stroller kind of an area. But I like felt my soul come alive during that art fair and like in little moments since in like artsy shops or like artsy, situations. So I need to find a place like that.
Also, Mal, we found our new staple hike here and cannot wait to take you on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Laura told me.
I gave her a little sneak peek, but it's going to be incredible when you see it with your own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Not the eyes that Laura is using right now.
No, you have to experience
Closed.
it. You have to smell it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay,
Yeah.
updates on your end? How's Douglas?
Douglas is better. He's on antibiotics, but we are having a strict protocol for his health for the next 2 months, which is a little overwhelming. But honestly, at this point, I'm like, whatever it will fix his chronic health problems, I am game for. So
yeah, we went to this amazing, amazing doctor vet, and she was basically just like, we need to fix him up. Like, this isn't normal. He's had so many issues throughout his life. And yeah, we were definitely perceived as wives.
We were perceived as, co-mothers.
I love that.
Yeah.
And we let him think it.
We played right in. I gave her smoochie.
Held hands.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Um,
This girl would never hold my hand.
Yeah, I know.
Never
Don't
in a
out me like
million
that.
years.
No, McKenna would do like a shoulder tap.
Fuck. That's actually really true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura would be like,
The other day, I literally put my hand on Lara's shoulder and she was like, I love this.
keep doing it.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I really, really am. Haven't I gotten better?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what updates you guys have. And then I think we should talk about our Thanksgiving plans.
Ooh.
You sure about that?
I want to chat about Thanksgiving.
Okay, never mind.
McKenna's having a little stressful time thinking about her Thanksgiving plans.
Okay,
I'm
never
hopefully
mind,
going to be
sorry.
working. I'm hopefully going to be a working gal, but I'll tell more about that next episode because my second interview is the day we record next.
Second
Mhm.
interview.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, so we have no updates, is what I'm hearing.
I have updates. Does Laura, do you have other updates?
Yeah. Wait,
Give them.
McKenna's like, wrap it up.
Well, I actually don't know if I have any more updates. Basically, I'm trying to get this job. It's gonna be pretty chill if I get it, I hope. Mama needs work, so keep your fingers crossed for that. But yeah, tattooing, I feel like super solid in the ideas that I'm having. It's just more of the what's that called? Like follow through. Like I have so many ideas in my brain, I can't shut off the ideas, but then it's just like I just need to get them on paper. So doing that, setting up my tattoo area, and yeah,
Are
getting
people booking yet?
No, because I don't have any flash up.
I filled it out, so
No, I know people are like putting in to get on my email list, which I also haven't created. But it's not like solid booking. I'm doing a few tattoos this weekend just for friends. Some more friends, but no, I'm super excited for all of that. And also another part-time gig that I'm maybe not going to be able to get is working at a gym. I really want to teach dance, like dance fitness classes at this gym, because I miss dancing so much. And there's no classes like that around here, so she's got to provide.
I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
One other general update from San Francisco is that no good coffee shops for sitting and working.
It's a tragedy.
They could be so cute and they just do not exist.
Mm.
It's all like grab and go, no seating situations.
And they exist in other neighborhoods. We're just talking about our neighborhood.
Yeah, but it's almost another city because
Yeah.
we're not going to get the car out.
No.
That's the worst thing we could do. And if we wanted to walk, we'd have to walk like 5 miles
Mm.
round trip.
I heard there's a lot in South Florida, though.
Yeah, we're going to go to South Florida.
You know what I'll do is I'll do some apartment hunting for the 3 of us when I go to South Florida.
So true.
Actually, I'm
That's
not really
my
going.
fucking moment. Moving
Yeah.
to Florida.
Actually, no, thank you. I'd rather have a different fuck it moment for you.
okay.
No,
Yeah.
No,
I
thank
agree.
you. Please.
But I do support a little healthy fuck it moment. I want to be
I think
clear about
I'm
that.
gonna do a big one. So
Yeah, or an unhealthy one. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, what even is health and unhealth? Like,
No one knows.
doesn't exist. Okay.
yeah, that is a bummer because I know you both love the coffee shop vibes. You
I
know
know.
what place has a lot of great coffee shops? Arlington, Virginia.
If you move to California and we move to Arlington, Virginia,
Yeah, bummer. You're right. Yeah.
I would follow.
Short window for this to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Do you have any more?
No. Nope. You go.
Okay. Okay, my updates. I have a grad school update. We've chatted about grad school a little bit. And don't hold me to this, but how I'm feeling right now is that I am going to push grad school applications to fall 2025.
Okay.
Someone's liking the city a little bit more than she thought she would.
That is a factor. I am shocked, truly gobsmacked if how much I like the city. So that is really a layer. But there's just been this thing that's been happening where I had a couple phone calls set up to talk about certain programs and to like network with people and to connect. And there has just been like three instances where my email got lost or the person didn't return my call or they kind of just like had their own stuff going on so we couldn't connect. And to me it's like, okay, one misconnection, that's fine. But when we start getting to like 3+ misconnections, it's kind of like, is this something that I'm just like pushing too hard to happen? Like, do I just need to take a step back and maybe think about if this is actually what I really want? Because other areas of my life, I feel like things are just like flowing quickly, just like coming together in a more easy way, I guess. And I'm trying to be less of like a control freak on some of this stuff and truly listen to myself and also just the way that my life is responding to my choices.
I think that's very intuitive of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it's all just connected to like so much of my life often feels like hurry up and do the thing and get the thing done because you're just like you're getting older by the second kind of a feeling.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my God, we have infinite time to go to school and to go to a different place and to like we don't have infinite time, but I just think that like so much of life is rushing so hard and pushing so hard that you don't actually feel what's happening in the present moment.
Yeah, I feel like my brain flips between that and like you could die tomorrow, so do what you want. And
YOLO,
that's like, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know how to find the middle ground there, but I do think when I think about going to grad school this fall, it's like I'm pushing because I'm scared. I'm pushing out of fear. And I don't, if I make that decision eventually, I don't want it to be a fearful decision. I want it to be like a fully like embodied decision. So that's where I'm at.
I trust your intuition.
Thank you, Mallory. The next thing that I have is actually kind of interesting and I think very relevant.
Everything you have to say is interesting.
So true. I forget that sometimes. But basically, last week I got a message from the person who manages, I have a very humble Edward Jones account. And I mean, very humble. And this is like, I'm so grateful because my grandparents started it when I was born. And like for reference, both of them were school teachers their entire lives. So like, we're not talking big bucks here. We're not, but like, they just like put a tiny, like literally $10 in every month for me and like some of the other grandkids. And I got like control of that when I was like 21 or 22, I think. And then I used some of that money to help me move to Colorado, which I have a lot of shame about. We can talk about that at a later time. We're not talking about that now. Anyways, a new person about a year ago took over the management of this account. He's like a financial advisor. And the previous guy was like super old school, older guy, like had done business with my grandpa for like 40 years, right? This guy is like new, kind of does things a little bit differently. And what I've always been told about investing from my relatives is like, or especially my grandpa, is like, you play it absolutely the most safe that you can. Like just very slow, very steady growth is how you want to approach the stock market. Like it's not worth, whatever risks. So I, like a year ago or so, got on a big call with this person and we had chatted and I really liked him. But like since then, I haven't really done anything. And he randomly last week was like, "Oh, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Like, let's have a meeting." And so I set up a meeting and I had that meeting on Monday, yesterday. And I was so scared for this meeting because anything with money is really hard for me when I feel like I don't have enough. Like when I feel like I'm shame around how much money I make or how much money I've invested or what I'm able to contribute or even sharing goals with him, I don't want him to laugh at me and be like, well, you don't make enough money for this to ever be a reality. Like that's my worst fear. I actually like the part of money management where we talk about systems. Like I think that's fun for me, but because it's like I've been dealing with such few resources for so long, it's just a point of embarrassment sometimes. And we got on the call and we identified some things we're going to work towards. And he like, after the long call, he was like, "Okay, I'm hearing 4 goals." He's like, "Number 1, because I've been working really hard on trying to grow a emergency fund, which is, you know, I'm sure our pal Brooke would support that endeavor. And so I've been working hard on that. That's like goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to like make a strategy for the investments account. Goal number 3 is potentially grad school. Goal number 4 is hopefully one day being able to buy property or house." And that all feels very scary. Like those are big, lofty goals. So having him kind of be like, "No, this is possible for you. We just have to think about how we're going to do it," was so just empowering. Like I always feel like the biggest idiot in the room when anyone about money is talking. Like I just feel like I'm the least educated. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what words mean. Like no one has told me and you're just expected to know, and I hate it. I hate every second of it. And he was really good at just being like, I was being like, "I need you to explain it to me in like a very clear way that you would explain it to someone who knows nothing about these things." And he was very kind and being like, "No, like you're really sharp. Like you understand it more than you think. Like it's not so scary." But the end of the story is basically, I brought up to him, I was like, "I don't know the right way to kind of phrase this, but I'm sure you deal with this all the time, but like, how do we go about making sure that what I'm invested in, because I don't look at it, which is bad, but like, I just trust him that he has what I want in mind when he's making decisions." But I was like, how do I know that what my money is being invested in isn't actively harming another person? Or, like it's a ethical investment, which is a big conversation right now, obviously, on social media with like Palestine and all of that. And so he responded in like such an amazing way where he was like, "Absolutely, we are going to talk about this. Like I'll block like an hour for us to just make these decisions about making sure that what you're investing in aligns with your morals and your values." And starting that process at the beginning of like your wealth journey or whatever, wealth management journey, is like really a good step, because there are so many people who come to him who do have a lot of money in accounts, and it costs a lot of money to be ethical, like to change everything over to feel good about what you're investing in taxes, and there's always going to be a drawback. And he was very clear. He's like, "I will tell you what the sacrifices are with this, but as long as you're okay with those, like I want to make sure that you're like 100% in on what we're going to do, and you're going to own what we put stock in." And I just really appreciated that, because another man could have been totally gaslit me and be like, "That's ridiculous. Like, you don't need to worry about that." Like, whatever. But he was so open and being like, "Absolutely. Like this, we need to do this." So that's my story.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I just think like I have never heard someone talk about that, and I've been seeing it on social media. So if you're in a position where you have someone like that works with you in some financial way, like don't be scared to ask that question, because I had no idea he would respond the way that he did. I was literally shaking asking it, and it ended up being fine. More than fine.
That was bold.
Yeah.
I feel like this guy in particular is also always pleasantly surprising you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you maybe do approach if you have one of these things, if you approach your person and they're super closed off, be like, hey, can we talk about someone else taking my account?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he like an eligible bachelor? I mean,
No.
No, in my mind, he's like one of those guys, or not guys, but people who have like sit in a very dark area and then have their voice distorted because he's you know what I mean, like in
No.
in
In,
documentaries.
Yeah, movie.
no, yeah, I know, but why would he be like that?
He's just like a very highly important individual.
I don't think he's highly important. Like,
In my mind, he is. He's taking care of your money. True.
no, he's like, he has a young family. Like he's kind of, I don't know, on the pulse of, I think, understanding what younger people want. And the other factor was I was embarrassed. I was like, I literally told him straight up. I was like, listen, I know that what is in my account is what people spend on their coffee in a year. So like, I'm sorry if this is like an annoying ask for me to make, but like, I do want to make that ask, even with my small amount of money. And I felt like he treated me as though I had millions in this account, and which
Yeah.
I really appreciate because it is extra work for him. And he's doing like the actual work of it and also the work of educating me. So
Yeah,
He's
but I
amazing.
guarantee you're the kind of client that he enjoys to work with.
I hope so.
Like, based off of Ryan's experience in wealth management, let me tell you, like, I feel
Yeah.
like you're the dream client.
well, I'm dream a lot of things. So
Yes. Say that again.
True. So true.
yeah, but that was just, I really want to drive it home that like, don't be scared to ask the scary questions to the people that help you do things. It's important. And especially as women, I think like advocating for that is really important.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been listening to all of Brooke Benson's podcast episodes
I got into it today. I was
and leaving each of them with my mind quite a bit blown.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I even had Ryan listen to one, and he was like, "Yeah, she makes a lot of pretty good points." Yeah,
she knows her shit. Yeah, I guess so.
we listened to it on the car ride back from Chapel Hill, and every like 2 minutes he'd be like, "Yeah, no, she's right. She's right. That's a good point." Yeah. I was
Okay,
like,
I need to get
what
back
did you
on
think?
back on my listening game.
Yeah, they're very, very good. I like
This is
them
just
a
like
lot.
a Brooke Benson stan podcast.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna change all our graphics to that.
Yeah.
I do also just want to quickly shout out my other favorite short form podcast, which is Jules Ackery's podcast, which is pretty new.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Because I used to be obsessed with her YouTube channel. And when I'm not like not obsessed with it now, I just don't watch it as religiously because it just is not on my brain. But JULES space ACREE, I think it's called Slow Brew Sundays or something. But they're all so cute and she's so thoughtful, and I value her perspective.
Why fantasy books are the gateway to overcoming
Yes,
self-help burnout.
I just listened to that one.
That's
It was
for
so
me.
good.
That's for me.
Yeah, but
Okay,
yeah, she's
subscribed. Count me influenced.
she's very cool.
Easily influenced. Guys,
Yeah,
let's just talk
anyway.
about our favorite podcast right now.
What we're
Right
thankful
now?
for, aka our favorite poets.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my mom got me more onto the what's it called?
Hysterical?
Hysteria.
Hysteria.
Hysteria. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be into it, and then I kind of faded off more into just all gay podcasts, but I really, really have been enjoying Hysteria.
You know who's a big Hysteria fan? Maggie.
Maggie.
We love Maggie.
Yeah. I feel like she would
Why did you
cry.
say it like that. Your brain is taking longer to process.
Shutting down.
Turning off.
That's our brains.
Goodbye.
Okay. Any
Bye-bye.
final thoughts, feelings, wonders, insights, comments, concerns?
You know what? I need to touch base about our book club book. We can do that offline, but that just really came into my awareness.
I requested it at our library.
Oh, amazing.
Library. Mal, we also have to show you our cute little library when you come here.
Our neighborhood library.
She's so cute and small.
Only like 2.5 months till I see you.
I know. Literally, when I was like, when Bella left, I was like, okay, well, we just have to get through the holidays and then Mal's here. Like,
Yeah.
this is just like,
It's gonna fly by.
it really truly is.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
sad about that, but also happy because I get to see you soon.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Give Mr. Fitz a kiss from me.
Yeah,
And
he
and
needs to
one
go-
from McKenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to go pee pretty soon.
Okay. Well,
right.
yay.
Happy Thanksgiving-ish, I guess.
Yeah. And happy Laura's birthday to everyone who celebrates.
Yeah, actually, the only holiday we acknowledge this week is Laura's birthday.
I
so-
honestly prefer that. I'm
It's
not
not
a big
problematic at
Thanksgiving
all.
person, so
It's not problematic at all. Yeah.
we support idolatry here, so
What?
What's that?
Mal,
you can't use big words and
come
then make fun
on.
of us when we don't know what they mean.
I'm not making fun of you. I just thought you idolatry is like, religions who
Have idols.
yes. Yeah, it's like obsession of idols or like,
So true. Y'all can stay
like-
obsessed with me. That's fine.
yeah, it was like yeah, we support idolatry here, aka putting Laura on a pedestal,
So true. We didn't know
Yeah.
that word though. So new word alert.
But now you can like use it on a first date,
I can say
We're having so many first dates over here.
Okay,
Yeah.
McKenna, I feel like you have gone on dates.
Yeah, let's not talk about it actually.
Okay, moving
Okay.
on. Well, thanks everyone for being
Okay,
here.
thank you.
We love you. Hearts and kisses.
Hearts and kisses. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.